party has changed, and I think all centre-right parties, all Conservative parties have to go on this journey. I think we've probably gone a bit further and faster than some Conservative parties in other countries, and there won't be any turning back. So I understand the concern, but I think the change that's happened is real, lasting and irreversible.
But is David Cameron taking his party with him? In the European Parliament, his MEPs last year refused to support a motion condemning a new homophobic law in Lithuania. In the interview filmed for the Gay Times website, the Tory leader was asked why.
I don't regularly, in fact I barely ever issue instructions to my MEPs to vote in this way or in that way. The MEPs have their own leader, they have their own group, and it's not something I just don't routinely look at their voting behaviour and say, will you do this rather than that.
He repeatedly professed ignorance about the vote.
I mean, I'll have to go back and look at this particular law. I'll have to go and look at this particular vote in the European Parliament. I don't know about this vote, so, that's a mistake. I'll have to go and look at this vote.
David Cameron's pulled his MEPs out of the main centre-right grouping in the European Parliament, so they now sit with colleagues from the Polish Law and Justice Party, which is accused of homophobia. In the interview with the writer and broadcaster Martin Popplewell, David Cameron agrees that gay equality is a fundamental human right. That would suggest that on such issues, his parliamentarians should be made to vote according to the party line. But he then slips up by appearing to imply that MPs, peers and MEPs could be free to vote whichever way they like.
I've tried to have free votes where possible on these sorts of issues, but I'm responsible for the votes here. I'm afraid, sorry, it's not a very good answer, but I'll have to go and look at this particular vote in the European Parliament.
But when you say you often have free votes in this Parliament, the Parliament from which you're responsible, if you accept, as you did at the beginning of the interview, that gay equality is basically a fundamental
No, sorry, actually, you're right. No, I mean, I'm not the answer about. Sorry. No, you're right. The two votes are very different. Sorry.
David Cameron was also asked about a vote in the House of Lords on a proposal to allow civil partnerships in churches.
The intention of this clause is to remove the prohibition against civil partnerships from taking place in religious buildings.
I think it's right. It's right that it should be a free vote. This is a backbench amendment. It's Wahid Ali's amendment.
Yes. You say it's a free vote. You want us to vote for you. If we vote for you, we want you to vote for us.
I do. Can we stop for a second? I really want to answer these questions. It's really complicated. Either can we do a television interview or can we do a press interview? I'd almost like to start completely from scratch.
The magazine interview then continued once he'd collected his thoughts.